Good morning. I'm Amy Mino. I'm the Director of Minnesota Landmarks, and we are the managing agency, longtime managing agency for Landmark Center. And I'm pleased to welcome you today on behalf of all the community partners who are here today, who have worked long and hard on making heritage tourism and historic preservation priorities for the city of St. Paul. I'm also pleased to open today's press conference on behalf of the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners, the owners and sponsors of this beautiful building. They were unable to come due to county business this morning. This is a fitting setting for the award that St. Paul is going to receive today, one of the dozen distinctive destinations from the National Trust for Historic Preservation. This building was one of St. Paul's earliest preservation success stories, and its restoration was a catalyst for preservation in the Rice Park area, resulting in renovation at the St. Paul Hotel, the St. Paul Public Library, and construction of the Ordway Center for the Performing Arts. And Rice Park today, of course, is one of the most beautiful urban squares in the nation, if not arguably in the world. Ramsey County has provided support for Landmark Center over many, many years, so ensuring its success today. It has also reinvested in other historic buildings in the city. Of course, the Ramsey County Courthouse and City Hall, a beautiful renovation that they had there, and then most recently a very bold move to make the Union Depot, again, a center for rail and transit for the East Metro area. St. Paul's strength lies in its strong community partnerships, and these partnerships have caught the attention of the National Trust for Historic Preservation. They brought their 2007 National Conference to St. Paul, and then now today, with this award, is honoring the city for its work. I'm pleased to introduce Royce Yater, Director of the Midwest Office of the National Trust. His office works closely with our statewide partner in preservation, the Preservation Alliance of Minnesota, and also with our local partner, Historic St. Paul. Please join me in welcoming Royce Yater.
Thank you, Amy. I'm pleased to be here today to tell you a little story. Every year, the National Trust identifies 12 communities across the United States that we honor and acknowledge as leaders in historic preservation because they have used historic preservation as a way to enrich the quality of their community by preserving the historic places important to them, but also then as a vehicle by which to attract visitors. And by doing this kind of recognition, we hope that we can hold these communities up as models of historic preservation that other communities can follow. This program has been around for a dozen years now, so we're sort of in the 12 and 12, approaching the 12 and 12 stage. And so we have 144 distinctive destinations that have been designated with the list of 12 this year. Included in that list this year is the city of St. Paul. I wanted to acknowledge the leadership that this building and that the downtown area has certainly played in demonstrating to citizens all across the country the quality of historic preservation in a significant urban environment. From our conference that was here in 2007 that Amy mentioned, I still have people around the country remind me of what a great time and a great feeling they had in the Rice Park environment during that 3 or 4 days of our conference back then. But at the same time, I think it's important to recognize that this award doesn't stop at the edge of downtown. It recognizes the way in which the city has embraced its neighborhoods and all the neighborhood partners who have come together to develop great little commercial nodes and wonderful historic districts and been good stewards of those properties that make St. Paul both a wonderful place to live and a wonderful place to visit. So it is with that fanfare that I would make the announcement and an award recognizing the city of St. Paul as one of the National Trust for Historic Preservation's 12 distinctive destinations this year. So let me read the little plaque that goes with the job here. It says, the National Trust for Historic Preservation recognizes St. Paul, Minnesota as one of America's 2011 dozen distinctive destinations. The title of Distinctive Destination is presented to cities and towns across America that offer an authentic visitor experience by combining dynamic downtowns, diverse cultural activities, attractive architecture, and a strong commitment to historic preservation, sustainability, and revitalization. St. Paul, Minnesota is a model for other communities throughout the country. Mayor Coleman? Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. This really is it's a wonderful honor and a great distinction to be recognized by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. It is not surprising in any way for those of us that know and love this community. We know the historic preservation ethos that we have. There are a lot of us that have believed that the finest things that we have done in this city are based on the preservation that we've done. I know Councilmember Thune has a stake on that, living in historic Irvine Park. It has been, just so much a part of the culture of what we do in this community. And Amy kind of hinted on this thing, but we start with this building and what happened here. And Billy tells a great, this story of this and other things. But the fact of the matter is, and as I said, Amy hinted at this, but had this building fell, the Ordway would not be there, and we would not be talking about a brand new concert hall for the Ordway. The library likely would have fell, and we would not have that incredible space where children and adults are going in every night and learning and earning and looking for jobs. The St. Paul Hotel would have fallen, though there are some mornings I wake up and wish that it had. The fact of the matter is, this square, which is one of the finest squares in the entire country, and I will stack it against any place in the country, would not have happened but for those like Betty that fought for this building, that understood the significance of it, and understood what it meant for all of the redevelopment of downtown, for all of the vitality of this community. And what's great about this award, and I think it's important about it, is that it doesn't just recognize that we've kept some old buildings around. It doesn't just say that we care about historic preservation. It says that this is a vital community. It says that this is a great place to go to visit, not just for some historic tour, but because they're fun and vital communities to be in. And we in St. Paul have kind of always recognized that vitality happens because of historic preservation, not in spite of it. Look at what's happening in Lower Town. Look at those wonderful warehouse buildings that in many other cities would have fallen into such disrepair that they could never have been brought back. With a lot of folks, we started building artist housing down there. We started bringing more people to live. We started preserving our squares. We rebuilt Mears Park into one of the finest squares also in the country. And all of those things led to a new vitality, a new excitement in the downtown. And it isn't just the Jazz Festival in the summer. Some of you, by the way, may know that Esperanza Spalding, who just won Best New Artist of the Year, was the center of our Jazz Festival just 2 years ago. That's what's happening here because of what we have done with historic preservation. Summit Avenue, which is the end miles of the great Twin Cities Marathon, is through one of the greatest preserved stretches of Victorian housing in the entire country. St. Paul is a great city, not in spite of preservation, but because of it. This award recognizes that. It is what we have known all along. It is what the rest of the country needs to know if they don't know it already. So I'm just going to put a little plug in for those of us to go on the website. We're going to get some more information on that in just a little bit. But if we can have a Bears Den in northern Minnesota named the best park in the entire country, we won these things before. So I want us to all go online. We want to be number one. We want to be recognized by the rest of the country as the best place to visit. And so that in 2011, we want tourists from across this country and from across the globe, not just to come in and put their hand in the Mississippi River, but to see this incredible community that we have created because we have believed in the past and always remembered where we came from. So I want to thank you at this time and turn it over to a person who has been incredibly important in this effort of getting St. Paul recognized, Carolyn Kirkashler with Visit St. Paul.
Thank you, Mayor Coleman, and congratulations to St. Paul. My name is Carolyn Kirkashler, and I'm the president of Visit St. Paul. This is really an exciting award because it confirms what so many of us already have known for a very long time here in St. Paul, and that St. Paul is where history happens. You know, we have so many unique experiences in our own backyard, and I think sometimes when you live in an area, you forget what's really going on in your own backyard. Here you can tour the home of James J. Hill, the former railroad baron and empire builder. You can, in this very building, stroll through the courtroom here in Landmark Center where John Dillinger's girlfriend, Billie Frechette, was on trial. You can enjoy the longest stretch of Victorian period architecture in the United States right here on Summit Avenue. You can discover a culture from more than 2,000 years ago at Indian Mounds Park, an American Indian burial ground. You can sit in the pew at the Cathedral of St. Paul where President John F. Kennedy attended Mass in 1963. All of these opportunities and more create unique experiences for the millions of tourists who visit St. Paul each year. You know, it's one thing for us to say that we're a great city full of historical treasures, but it's great to now have this award and the backing of the National Trust for Historic Preservation as an additional validation. Part of our commitment for applying for this award was that, should we win, we would launch a marketing plan around it. Today, we want to unveil the logo that we've created to mark this designation. We plan to share it with all of our partner organizations whose hard work at their individual historic sites is the reason why we have received this designation. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Mayor Coleman and Adam Johnson, our VP of Marketing, to unveil the logo. We're excited for you to see this all over town, and we plan to use this on all of our historical marketing materials. You can see here we've included it in our History Happens Here advertisement as an example. The other part of this award announcement is an online competition, which the mayor mentioned. There is an additional fan favorite for the city who wins the online vote, and we've made it easy for you. Just go to votestpaul.com and click on St. Paul. Set yourself an Outlook appointment on your electronic calendars and do this daily over the next month. Or a few times daily, if you have time. I guess it's once a day. Marquette, Michigan won this last year with 37% of the vote. I know in St. Paul we can do at least 40%. Look for other initiatives we're working on surrounding this award, including the I Crawled Through History pub crawl this summer. I'm not sure who organized that, but I've got a good idea. We're excited to win this award, and we're ready as a community to promote it. Thank you again to the Trust for recognizing St. Paul. Now I'd like to introduce Tom Brock, Board Chair of Historic St. Paul. Tom?
Thank you, Carolyn. My old boss, Carolyn. Good to see you again. On behalf of the Board of Directors, and the staff, Carol and Becca at Historic St. Paul, as well as our volunteers, we're thrilled to have St. Paul selected as one of the National Trust distinctive destinations for 2011. The qualities that attract visitors to St. Paul also make it a great place to live and do business, contributing to the quality of life that we enjoy and our city's economic vitality. This recognition emphasizes the need and the value for preservation of historic monuments such as this great building that we're in today. It also demonstrates the importance in preserving the historic fabric of St. Paul's colorful and diverse neighborhoods. Imagine the city today without the state capitol, the cathedral, or Summit Avenue. And imagine what our neighborhoods, such as Irvine Park and Selby Avenue, would be like if it were not for the vision, the stewardship, the hard work of preservation leaders over the last 40 years. This designation from the National Trust provides us with a reason to celebrate past preservation accomplishments, but also makes it even more apparent for the need to continue our work in support of other structures and neighborhoods that are threatened and underserved. Historic St. Paul pledges our commitment to continue to leverage the revitalization potential of our irreplaceable historic assets as we, along with other public, private, and nonprofit partners, work to preserve, protect, and enhance the history and historic character of St. Paul's neighborhoods. Thank you.